Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Rosewood from Sandra Strait. Now, this one, you could probably use it as a fill-in. It's not necessarily a grid pattern. However, you could, if you wanted to, put it in a grid. So I'm going to I'm going to put a border here that could look kind of neat, actually. All right, but it does lend itself to being in a square space. However, I'm going to say you could probably end up having a lot of fun with it, just being creative. I'm thinking if you had a triangle, maybe the same principles. I just thought of it now, hence I'm saying it. You can have fun trying it, and if you do, let me know in the comments. And I'm just gonna guess it should work out just as neat. So I'm gonna do a square because that's what she's got there, and we'll start off with just a diagonal line in the corners, and I made that one rather small, so now I'm gonna have to continue with it. I attempt to kind of put it square in the corner, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. And as you know, or if you don't know, you will know now, it doesn't matter. Okay, so you do with what you have, and then we just go on to the next step, which is essentially auraing this straight line. And you could pick your thickness, and there we go. I don't know why I was having trouble like it with making it. It would aim. It's my pen. My pen is deciding to revolt on me or something and go a little crooked. All right, I do want that to line up exactly. All right. Oh, and this one too. I either stop. Well, either go over or stop just short of where it should end. Okay. Then it's really rinse and repeat, and you can play with the dimensions on this. So like here, I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger. So maybe, although that does look similar, just cutting off that corner like so. And you're not crossing any lines. You're going from whatever you did last, like so. And then, so it's corners and then straight lines. Now, one thing that I did notice, and I have to go back and look, it it does seem to be most effective if these ends don't come to a point, because what's neat about this is thinking the halabau technique, right, where we're drawing underneath, and that's essentially what we have here, even though we're not doing it on purpose, if that makes sense. But it gives the illusion of, oh well, the corner is underneath this little flap, and so it's one of those things where you just play with it, and I that's why I was like, well, if I had started those a little bit, further down, that might have helped. But as long as I continue and keep them a little bit larger than what I think I should do, that helps. I'm also thinking that this could look rather neat and maybe kind of rose-like if you, because I'm doing straight lines, and I'm trying to remember, maybe I saw this somewhere and somebody had played with it and did like curve lines. That could be neat. And again, you're just alternating corners, corners and sides. We'll call it that. Corners, then sides. Something that you could also have fun with is, as you're getting down towards the center, you could have fun with making the distance between the two lines smaller. That could be fun. But I think you definitely would have to start, with a bigger angle up here to get that effect. But that could be fun to play with. And this one, I'm finding that I'm really having to think especially on the corners, these angles, to draw it um, further down than I think it should be, because it does help with making it so that way these don't so that way the corners don't connect. But this is a nice one where that one I went over. This is a nice one where you can kind of lose yourself in it, and you don't have to think about your next step. It does require a tad bit of focus, and but you can really focus on the step you're doing at the moment, and really nothing else, and get that meditative benefit from that we enjoy from Zentangle. And then you just you go in as far as you want to go in. That is completely up to you. I think I will do one more. Somehow mine got a little weirdly off. What did I do? I don't know. Corner? Oh, my lines were a little crooked. Okay. That's all right. In the center, it then sometimes will start, to get where the corner, like this, the corners touch. And then, you still just have fun with it. It doesn't matter. I mean, the reason that I share that is because it's like, well, when you want the effect, then that's how you get the effect. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Now, you can have fun with this, decorating it a number of ways. I did like on Linda Farmer's little thumbnail that she did of it on Tangle Patterns, and I'll have the link there in the description section. I do like how she filled in every other one. You could do that. You can. I mean, it's just up to your creativity. What I'm going to do though, and I did this on my step out, but I wanted to see what it looks like on a tile. Because when I draw my step outs, I do them on just regular paper. And so what I did was I started with just putting some graphite underneath these corner sections, and it did turn out rather neat. And so as you get down lower, then being that things are a little closer together, it'll get a little bit darker. And if you watch the videos regularly, you've already heard this, but I have to assume that people have not, or maybe this is the first one, so forgive me if I repeat. And I said all that, and then I forgot what I was going to say. Yes, okay. It'll come back to me. And see, and that's the fun thing about Zentangle too, is that you do lose yourself, and it's a good thing. And I'm just going to do this kind of, sure I am. I'm just going to go kind of back and forth because I don't want that to be, I don't want it to be too, oh, here's a good one. Okay. Too wide of a spread with this graphite. I just want it to come down a little bit, make a little gradient, but not go crazy. Oh, I think what I was going to say is, it's up to your imagination. You can have fun with this whatever way you want. The sky is the limit. Lots of different ways you can, do, heck, you could do orbs and, along the lines if you want to, or every other one, or whatever. It's for you to play with. You create your own, well, and even with colors, you create your own coloring book. That's what's so fun about this. But you can add other patterns, and I'm going to just fill that in the center there. Other patterns and textures. Oh, don't let loose of the tile while you're. But see, and that's kind of neat. And this is, I didn't mention, you can see, I mean, my hands are not exceptionally large. This is a 2 inch by 2 inch bijou tile. It's a Zentangle original tile. And so I like to work on these small so that way I can keep these as quick as possible, with some little extra explanations in them. Um, but it's kind of neat. If I could, well, could do the opposite, could do just those, the lines, the straight lines, if I wanted to, the edges versus the corners, and it could look cool as well. If you're doing it on something larger, I'm thinking then it might work. It might make it where you could do all of it. I don't want it to get too dark, and that was what I was worried about doing there. But it's a neat effect. It really is. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this. It is a neat tangle, and I think I'm gonna have to play with it in a grid because that could be kind of cool too. And then you'd have these, you'd be generating these X's with these those corners. That'll look kind of neat. So I'm gonna play with that next. But if you enjoyed the video, and I hope you did, would love to have a like or a thumbs up. Feel free to share it. If you have not subscribed yet, it helps me out a lot. All of those things, including putting in comments in the comment section. But if you would like it enough to see more, would love to have you subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you decide how you want to be notified, if you want to be notified at all. In the description section, I mentioned links to the step outs. Also, links to connect with me if you liked me enough and maybe you want to do an online class. I teach almost twice weekly. It just depends on the week. Every Thursday, I do a free tangle time where we take a tangle and we explore it. And then that's free. And then there's one free one a month on a Tuesday. And I do them consistently at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time or Eastern Standard Time. I'm in Michigan. And the one on Tuesday, I call it Tough Tangle Tuesday. Sometimes I call it something else, just depends on if I have something else we want to do. But generally, it's Tough Tangle Tuesday, and we will explore some of the tangles that have more steps or just seem to be more difficult. I have some on my nemesis list that I really need to tackle and put on there, and I will at some point. But we have a lot of fun. I also have some that are paid classes. Information is on my website. Again, would love to have you join us. We have a lot of fun. And with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.